Hello, it's Ian Cogner here again. I'd just like to demonstrate what UFO has asked me to do, just running straight from the battery with certain capacitors in certain areas across the gates. This is the drawing that he gave me here, and this is my rendition here of how I've drawn it. Now this is my setup over here. I have my batteries there. There's a negative, 12 volts, 24 volts and 36 volts, and that's the amps it's drawing at any time. That's running off the negative wire. That's the voltage in the battery. That's at 12 volts at the moment. Here I have the four sets switch set up. There's the on-off switch. There's switch 1 that's on the diagram, switch 2 and switch 3. Now these here are the voltages across the capacitors. So this is C1, C2, C3 and C4. At the moment you'll see that there's really nothing on them. This is the speed. Now everything's all set virtually at zeros. That's the capacitors again, just a minimal. Now I started up using the 12 volts. So we see there's 13.22 volts on the battery at the moment, a 12 volt battery. Now I'll switch it on. I don't have any regulation of the speed because UFO asked me to do it just straight from the battery. So there's no MOSFETs, there's no regulator, there's nothing, it just goes full bore. I'll switch it on now, and that's at 12 volts. You'll notice that the volts have dropped down to 12.56. They're gradually reducing. The amps is just drawing just 2 amps. C1 is 0.3 of a volt, it's fluctuating. C2 is fluctuating 20, 13, 17, 22. C3 seems to be pretty steady at 0.26 volts, and C4 is 0.13 of a volt. Now I'll put on S1. You'll notice there the speed is 2,483. That's reasonably constant. Put it on S1. Now S1 I've switched on. It's 12.46 the battery. C1 is fluctuating 0.2 volts. C2 is 0.6 roughly, 0.5. The speed is 24.75, 76, 74 fluctuating. C3 is 0.62. and C4 is 0.13 volts. It's still drawing 2 amps. 24.47 volts. Now I'll put the switch the next one on, S2. It slowed down a little bit quick when I started there. It's still drawing just a fraction over 2 amps. It's 12.45 volts. Now the voltage here on C1 is 13.92, C2 is 2.23 volts, C3 is 7.7 volts, and C4 is 0.14 volts. The speed is 25.20. I'll put it on the third one now. It's slowed down a fraction now, but it's 22.24 revs. The voltage is 12.45, 0.46. C1 voltage is 10.48. C2 is 0.7, 1.8. C3 is 11.176, and C4 is 10.51. The speed is 25 24 revs. Now what I'll do, I'll switch them all off now and I'll put it on 24 volts and we'll go through it again. I'll put it on to 24 volts. You'll see that 3 of the capacitors have retained their voltage, but C2 hasn't. It emptied itself. Now I'll switch it on again. The voltage for 24 volts is 26.17. It's going up a fraction because it was used a bit of power before, now it's rejuvenating itself. I'll switch it on. The revs are 49.679, it's going up. C1 is 5 and 6 volts. C2 is 10 to 6 volts. C3 is 6.2 volts, reasonably steady, and C4 is 6.44 volts, reasonably steady. Now I'll put S1 on. The volts have gone up just a fraction. There's 5 volts down to 4. C2 is 4.76. You see how it's changing. The C3 is 6.4678. It's just slowly climbing. 0.651. It's slowly climbing. Then we see C4 is 6.43. The revs is 4,921. I just have to switch this meter off and on again because it's fuzzy. It's going to switch itself off. It doesn't want to stay on too long. Now I'll put S2 on. And if we watch how it changes, the speed probably, see how the speed changes, it's still just over 2 amps. The speed's gone up to 5,000. The battery has dropped down to 24.86. This one was over 20 volts. It's up to 43, 58, 44, 50. C2 is 16 volts, nothing, 16, 18. 18, 19 volts, 1. It's fluctuating. I don't know why that's fluctuating like this, but the speed is 4,983. C3 is 17.93, 18 volts, and C4 is reasonably steady on 6 volts. The speed of this motor here, it's for 24 volts, it's 250 watts, and the speed, recommended speed is 2,750 revs. There it is now, it's more than double. Well, it's almost double that. Now I'll put on switch 3. The voltage has gone up to 24.87 now. C1, oh, it's still, the amps is 2.2 amps. Now, C1 is 47, 39, 36, fluctuating. I don't know what's wrong with this one. It doesn't register anything. Right. I can't see what's, there it is now, I don't know what's wrong with it. Must be a loose connection somewhere. There's 5,033 revs. Just on overload now. 22.7 volts C3, C4 is 21.4. The revs is 5,000. Now I'll switch it off at the moment and I'll try and find out what's wrong with this capacitor, with this dot multimeter connected to that capacitor, and then the next one I'll try with 36 volts. So I'll switch it off at the moment. Thanks very much. Now I continue with what I was doing before. These leads were faulty, so that didn't show the proper reading. So I'll put these back on again and we'll see what happens now. I've got switch 1, 2 and 3 on. I'll put the power on now. I'll just adjust this first so we can see the speed. The amp draw is 2.2 amps. We have to remember this is straight from the motor, from the battery. There's no driver. The voltage is 24.91 volts. It's going down slightly. And this way I haven't got it set up so it's putting anything in the battery at all. All this is doing is showing the voltage across the capacitors. In C1 it's fluctuating around 80 to 104 volts. C2 is 60 to 80 volts. C3 is 20.57 and C4 is 22. The speed is 5,071. Now remember that's on 24 volts, which is what the motor was designed for. The speed for it was 2,750 revs. It's going twice that speed now, almost, and it's still drawing only 2 amps. The volts are 24.87, 89. It's going up slightly, fluctuating there. Now what I'll do next is I'll put it on 36 volts. It's not meant to be on 36 volts, but I'll put it on 36 volts and we'll try it. Still going. We're on 36 volts now. It's 39.25 volts. The voltages in those capacitors has been retained. 20.4 in C1, 23.2 C2, 20.5 in C3 and 23.3 in C4. The fastest revs before was 7,313, so we'll see what it does now. I'll switch it on. Now I haven't got any S1 or S2 or S3, I'll switch on, just switch it on. Now it's going fast. It's just over 2 amps. It's doing 7,000 revs nearly. 24, 28, 22, 30. C2 is 39, 30. C3 is 20 volts and C4 is 23.3. Didn't change too much. I'll put it on S1. I'll put it on S2 now. Now S3. It's 6,854 revs. Of course, if I had it in Nessie, it wouldn't be going that fast because I have a continuous load on it. But there it is. It's 18 on C1. It's 18 volts. I've still got trouble with the lead somehow. C2 is 18, 14, 18 volts. C3 is 30.4 and C4 is 32.6. The motor is starting to heat up a little bit. I'll switch it off now. It's not really hot, but it's not meant to go that speed, so I'll switch it off. Thanks very much for watching.